So hello and welcome to part 7 of the RGV 250 rebuild. 5 and 6 didn't really go very well. I've had to end up really stripping the whole engine down, which is something I didn't really want to do. I was hoping that was all going to be alright because it's only done 8,000 miles, so I was hoping just to do the top end and we'll be away, but obviously not. But it doesn't matter, at least now it'll all be done and done properly. So we shouldn't hopefully have any more problems, but we'll see. You know what it's like, end of the day it's a 2-stroke, so so yeah, I'll just show you around what I've done and what we're going to do, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, so all I've done since part 6 is basically undo all the bolts in the crank casing and take the crankcase apart and then get the crankshaft out. So basically that's all I've done as it was. I haven't cleaned it up or nothing. As you can see, there's not a lot of sealant on there. And that is the wrong sealant as well, it's red. So don't be wrong, there is other types of sealant you could use to get the job done, but you want to make sure that is the right stuff, because if not you could end up doing this. So it just pays just to use the right sealant, the right stuff. So this is the other half of the crankcase. As you can see, it's, you know, that's all there is on there, not a lot of sealant. And the genuine sealant, which I've got here, is grey, so it's definitely not the genuine stuff in there. It's just free bonds, that basically is what they use. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be using anyway. So basically all I've got to do now, I've got to clean all this up, get all the sealant off, make sure it's all lovely and clean, put some degreaser on there, and then obviously we use the genuine sealant, and we should be alright. Here's the crank. I've checked the crank over, it's all good, all the bearings are lovely, really nice smooth, you know, not lumpy, nothing, so there's nothing wrong with them. The big ends are fine. So basically all I'm going to do, because it's apart, I'm going to change the crankshaft seals, the outer ones, this one and this one here. The middle one I'm not going to change, because that should be totally fine, there shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. That is a different type of seal. I think it's called a labyrinth seal, they call it. It works in a different way. Basically, it will never wear out. So it's not like these seals where it rubs on the shaft and they wear over time. So this one should be alright, because I did speak to BDK Racing about it. And they've never actually changed one or had to change one, they've always been alright. So odds on that's definitely going to be okay, I think, really. So we're going to leave that. So we're just going to change these outer seals, and we should be good. I've got this end bearing off because that bearing goes there, that's in front of the seal, so if not you can't get the seal off. So I just used the puller just to pull that off. It come off quite easily actually. So now I'm able to change these seals, so that's what I'm going to do now. Replace them, then I have to put the bearing back on, clean these cases up so they're all nice and clean and ready, and obviously then put the crank and that in there and start putting it all back together again. So that's what I'll do. So I'll see you in a minute. So we've cleaned it all up now. Got the crank in, all the new seals on it. So that's all ready. Degreased it all as well. All the surfaces and that, so it should be good to go. Got all the sealant and that on the top half of the crankcase. So I'm now ready to put it all back together. So now I'm going to put it on, torque it all up, and then that bit will be done. So the crankcase is all together, all torqued up, so that bit's all done, so that's lovely, nice to have that bit out of the way. So the next bit will be put the gear on the end of the crank there, and put the flywheel on and stuff like that, and obviously then the pistons and so on and so on. So we'll soon get there, won't take long. But I'm now off to work now, so I won't be doing any more today, so I'll probably be in here tomorrow morning, so I'll see you then. So it's been a couple of days since the last filmed. So I'm back in here now. I've just started doing a couple of bits to it. I've just put the flywheel on, that's on there now and all torqued up. I've got the gear on this side, that's all torqued up as well, and the lock tab knocked over. So those bits are done. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually put the clutch basket and that on there now. So that bit will be done soon. Here's a clutch basket, clutch plates and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be putting together now. So hopefully I can get that on there, and then we'll move on to some other bits. Right, so I've got the clutch basket on now. That's all torqued up. To do it, if you're going to do this, then really you're going to need to get a tool to hold the clutch while you torque it up. It's just like a universal one. You can use this on most clutches and that. So I just got that. They're cheap as well, don't cost a lot of money. So just bear in mind, you just need to buy something like that just to hold the clutch to torque it up and that. So that's all on now. So to torque this one up, this gear here on the end of the crankshaft, what I've done is I held it. There's loads of different ways you can do it, but all I've used, I've just got this tool, just put it around on there, just one of them, and you can hold that, and then you can torque up the other side while you're holding it. And I use the same thing for when I torqued up the flywheel as well. I just held it with that. There's other ways you can do it. There's special tools to do it all, but in the day you haven't got to buy special tools to do it. As long as you've got something to hold it securely so it don't turn, and that'll do the job. So here's your clutch plates and that. So I'm going to be putting them in next, and like a pressure plate and that here, and then put that on. Here's all the springs and that and the bolts for the clutch. So that's the next bit. I'll put that bit on, and then we'll start doing something else. So the clutch plates are on now. So they're all done. And the pressure plate. I've tightened these up. They're all tightened, all torqued up now. To hold that, basically to stop this turning while you do that up, I've just done the same thing the other side. Just held it on the flywheel with that tool again. So that does that. Just another thing I thought I'd just mention. It pays really just to mark these pressure plates before you take them off. Like you see, I put a mark there and a mark there, because some of these matter where you locate them. Because you put them on, you think, oh, it's on, that's okay. But then you go and ride it and the clutch won't work. And then you'll have to strip it back down again. Because it do matter on some of them. Some it don't, some it do. So just mark it before you take it off every time, and you know it's in the right spot then, and then you can have that hassle. And another thing, just thought I'd mention, you know when you go to do up your clutch basket and do the nut up inside there and torque it up, I said about using this. I say when you use this, just don't do it up too tight, because that's like big mole grips these are. So just adjust it just enough so it just sort of just nips it up on the clutch basket. Because obviously if you do it up too tight, it's only aluminium, and you could crack it and break it quite easily. So don't go mad with it and do it really tight. That'll be just do it enough just so it holds it, stop it from turning, so you can torque it up. That's all you need to do. Alright, so that's that bit done. So what we'll do then, we'll put the pistons on next, and then the barrels and stuff like that, we'll go from there. So the pistons are on now. Got new base gaskets as well. They're genuine ones this time. I had patterned ones because it just came out of a patterned kit I had, and because I had trouble with the head gaskets and stuff, so I just thought I'll put some genuine base gaskets on as well while I'm at it. So we're getting there. It's gradually coming together. Like I say, when you do this, just make sure you put a rag underneath here, like I've done on this one. When you're putting the pistons on, because you've got little circlips and stuff, obviously fling off and might fall off, and then if they fall into there, you've had it. You've got to take it apart. So just make sure you put rag in there. Same as up here. So I've took it out now because I'm now going to put the barrel on and that. So otherwise, just make sure you keep rags in. Last thing you want to do is drop something in there and then you've got to take it all apart again. It's not good. Right, I just realised actually this video makes it 100 videos on my YouTube channel, which is pretty amazing. I didn't think I'd end up doing 100 videos. I didn't think I'd get anywhere, to be honest, with this YouTube channel, but so obviously that's going alright. Got just over 2,500 people following me now as well, which is amazing. So thanks to everyone that's following us. So I'm going to put the barrels on now, and then we'll go from there. Right, so the cylinders are on now. So it does actually look like we're actually getting somewhere, doesn't it? So it don't take long. Soon sort of get it back together. Right, I've put new reeds in. These are new genuine reeds. so I thought I'll put some in while I took it all apart. I might as well. The old ones did look alright really, but I thought I'll put some new ones in while I'm at it. So yeah, so I'll probably put them in next. Probably put the reeds in, and then obviously you got like the servo motor and stuff to fit, the carbs, put spark plugs in there really, I suppose. Make sure nothing don't fall down in the hole. Yeah, so I'll be doing lots of little bits like that sort of now. I'll get on with them. Well, we've done all right today. I only had a few hours spare, but we've got quite a bit done. The carbs are on, all the reeds are in. We've got thermostat housing, servo motor and that is all on there. Put the spark plugs in, they're all in there. It's all looking good now. It's got quite a bit done today. Won't take long. Hopefully we'll soon have it up and running. We'll hopefully have it up and running tomorrow, because that'll do for the day. This will be the end of part 7. I'll start part 8 in the morning. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll have it running, and hopefully it'll run alright, so we'll see. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're not following us on Facebook, please follow us on there, and I'll see you in part 8.